Hello and welcome back to my road to completion guide for Metro Exodus. We're now in episode 2, and you guys will have to pardon me if my voice seems a little bit raspy. I am currently going through a cold, so just bear with me on that. The first thing we want to do in this episode, guys, is sit down at the radio. Miller is going to tell us to find a broadcast. You'll know that you've got the right frequency because it'll say attention, attention. I think it's going to show up here in the subtext. Yeah, right there, attention, attention. That's going to let you know that you guys have found the right frequency. There are a couple of frequencies in there where you'll hear like some static and some other things. Those are not going to be the right frequency bands, okay? Once you find it, you're going to go through another little dialogue sequence here with all the crew. You're going to drink, you're going to have a little toast, and you guys are going to name the locomotive. That's going to give you guys credit for the trophy Aurora, okay? Now, Anna is going to take you over to the map, and the game is wanting you to go ahead and press square to go into the next chapter, chapter 3, the Volga. You do not want to do that right now, okay? You want to do a 180 and wait for the conversation to end between Anna and Alyosha, okay? Wait for that dialogue sequence to end, and that's going to give you access to the back of the train car. All right, so as soon as she stands up, just walk forward, and you can sit back down and interact with the radio again. Just hold down square to sit down. And then in the bottom left-hand side of the screen is going to be a D-pad prompt. Hit right on the D-pad, and that's going to let you interact with the radio again. Now, the frequency to find this next trophy is going to be different for all of us, okay? The trophy that we're going after is called Join Us on Air. We have to find a tune on the radio. Again, it's going to be different for everybody. I think I picked mine up around the 250 mark. You can see that I get a broadcast signal there, but it's not music, so it does not count. I think mine's coming up here. See that? You start hearing music on the radio, you'll be good to go to pop your trophy. Again, the frequency is going to be different for all of us. Go ahead and hit left on the D-pad to stand up, and then do a 180. Go down to the bottom of the stairs, and on this crate is going to be your next collectible. This is the survey report. It's the only collectible in this chapter, and that's going to be collectible 13 of 91. Now you want to go back up the stairs, go to the map, hold down square, and that'll take you guys into chapter 3, the Volga. Okay, you're gonna have to hit right on the D-pad here as well. When it gives you the D-pad prompt, just hit right on the D-pad. That's gonna take you guys into chapter 3, the Volga. There's gonna be a very long dialogue sequence here with the crew, but eventually Miller's gonna tell you that you need to go out and run some recon missions, get some information. He's gonna set your map down. You can go ahead and pick that up. Although we're never gonna use the map in this game at all, guys. It's not necessary. You guys are watching me play. So I'll be pointing out landmarks and stuff with my gun in game, so you guys know where we're going. There's no need for you to ever break your map out if you're following this guide. Although you can if you want to, obviously. Follow Anna down the stairs and pick up the backpack. That's a scripted event. Just pick that up. And that's going to allow us to craft some stuff on the fly a little bit later on. And the game wants you to follow her to your next destination, but because we already know where to go, you do not have to sit back and wait for her unless you want to. Just keep in mind that if you do sit back and wait for her and kind of follow her to the next destination, you'll be able to have some dialogue with her. But if not, you can kind of skip all that. Notice that I kind of slowed down when I went down that hill right there. Very important that you guys know that that's a thing in this game. Most first-person games, if there's a hill and you're full sprint, you'll just run down the hill faster than you normally would if you were walking, right? In this game, if there's a hill and you're full sprint, the game will propel you forward and possibly kill you or do a lot of damage to your player or to your character. So that's why anytime you see me getting close to a hill, and if I'm in full sprint, I will kind of slow down a little bit because you can die. This is going to be our next trophy right here, the Regatta for getting into a boat. Just hold down square, wait a couple of seconds. The trophy will pop for you guys. There we go. And now all we have to do is row to the church. The church is going to be, you can kind of see the light over there. See the light, the orange glowing light. And then there's a lady up top to the right that's waving a flag. We're heading in that direction. There's going to be some like some dialogue as you're rowing. I'm going to let you guys listen to that. All we need to do is make it up to where that lady is. And there's also going to be a child up there. And then I'll explain to you guys what to do after we're done talking to them.
Looks like you've been spotted. Artyom, there's a woman on that bell tower waving a rag or something. Please investigate. investigate. I see people at the church. None seem to be armed. We'd better try the open approach. Let's not fire first, okay?
Peace be upon ye, traveler. Our father, Silantius, has already started his sermon. Just enter the temple and see the light of truth. We are a peaceful
For he absolves those who reject the folly and temptation of electricity and other sinful lures of the enemy. But to those who falter, he grants salvation.
You're all evils! You don't save anyone! They killed my friends and my daddy! Come up here!
Stay calm, brothers and sisters. The enemy is trapped, for so will the Lord. Soon our brothers militant will be here.
Oh, Mama, it's him! The man from the train! He's here to save us!
After talking to the lady and the child, she's going to open up the window for you guys to escape. Make sure that you quick save before you jump out of this window. Notice, if you try to quick save after you jump out of the window, it's not going to let you because technically you're in a combat situation. You cannot quick save in this game once you're in combat. Very important that you guys save there. We need to pick up a gun. It's not off of this guy. It's going to be off the next guy that we kill. It's called the Ashot. We need this gun because I told you guys in episode 1, there are a total of 10 guns in this game and we need to get 1 kill with each gun. This is one of the guns. The problem is that most of you are going to end up killing this enemy on the stairs like I am now. A lot of times the gun will glitch out of bounds. It'll get stuck in a wall somewhere. You will not be able to find it at all. Okay, so by having a quick save before you jump out of the window, you can come back down here after you've quick loaded and keep killing this same enemy until you're able to find it, right? Now, sometimes you're going to think that it's glitched out of bounds, but it's actually in bounds, okay? I'm showing you here that if you turn your brightness up a bit, you might be able to find it. Mine was underneath the stairs. See that? But that's the gun that you want. I'm going to freeze the frame for a few seconds. It's that shape, and you want it to be the one that's colored in with all orange. See that? There is an Ashot in this area that's not covered in completely, as an orange icon. It's part white and part orange. We don't need that gun. It is an Ashot, but we need the attachments on this gun. It needs to be that specific gun to work with the guide. But just make sure that you find that. Again, it's always going to be on that body, on that enemy that's on the stairs. But again, it could glitch out on you guys, so make sure you have that quick save. Now, this is going to be your next collectible. This is postcard number 3. That's going to be collectible 14 of 91. That, okay? We'll head back down the ladder. There's no need to kill anybody here or even interact with anybody else, okay? Once you have the Ashot, you're good. Head this way. Fall down right there. And then we're just going to head over to the boat, okay? Going to go ahead and leave this area. Going to be a boat up here. You can turn this wheel. That's going to let the boat down. And then we want to set up another quick save right here. The Ashot that you guys picked up should have 1 bullet in it, okay? And that's the only bullet that we need to get our next kill with. So just make sure that you guys are able to quick save. The game is going to quick save for you, but I like to do manual quick saves. So you'll see me here. I'm just waiting for the numbers to show up in the bottom right hand side of the screen, and then I do a quick save on my own. That has cost me a lot of time in this game. I don't know if apparently there's a glitch surrounding that. A lot of times the game will tell you that it's quick saving for you. You'll play for about 15 minutes and you'll die, and you'll be reset 40 minutes ago, right? And I don't know what it is about this game. Maybe it's patched by now. I know there was a patch that came through the other day for this game. Maybe that fixed it, but that has set me back quite a bit in this game. So I like to manually quick save just to make sure that I can lock it in that way. You just want to row toward this tree. See the tree off in the distance? And there's going to be some little enemies. This is all scripted. They will always attack you here. Okay, the first one, you just want to continuously press square to get it off your boat. The second one, you want to pull out your Ashot. You got one bullet, shoot it right in the face, get your kill. Okay, that's going to give you guys credit for your 4th kill out of 10. Now, look, at the end of the day, you don't have to kill this enemy. If you miss something like that, you've got options. You can reload your quick save and ride this boat out again to exactly where we are and get your shot as many times as you want to. Or you can just wait till later on in the episode or even in the guide, really, because we're going to be using the Ashot a lot and you can pick up your kill that way. Okay, it's not necessary that you pick it up here. I just thought it worked out kind of perfectly because you've got one bullet and that enemy is always going to attack you there. You can pick it up. Now there's going to be a fish that's going to attack you in the water. I skipped that cutscene, obviously. And then Duke is going to save you. And you don't have to talk to him unless you want to. And you can just leave. And there's a plane to the right. You're kind of heading in this direction. Okay. See the plane right there. But you're not going to go in the plane. I'm just giving you guys some bearings. You're heading back to the train. The train's on the left. We want to pick up a collectible on the way. This collectible is called the Mouldy Log. See the train up there? I think I point to it. See it right there? Right in front of the train, behind these 2 downed enemies right here. It's going to be right here at this camp. See it? That's going to be the Mouldy Log. That's collectible 15 of 91. Okay? Now we want to head to the train. And there's going to be some enemies that might attack you in here, but don't worry about them, guys. Just, we're not really worried about killing enemies, honestly. There's unless it's you know, having to get a kill with one of the weapons, right, that we need. But other than that, we're just running through everybody. I think there's going to be a sequence coming up soon where we do have to kill some enemies because they're going to box you into this room. But for the most part, we're not too worried about enemies at all. Now, there's the next sequence that we need to fulfill in the storyline is going to be on top of a crane. We got to meet an NPC. I don't know if you actually have to wait for Miller to finish this conversation. He's going to walk off to the left to trigger the next event. Because if you go to the crane too early, the guy that you have to meet up with is not going to be at the crane. I'm not sure if this sequence is actually what triggers it, but I like to come up here just in case. Make sure that I don't go all the way over to the train, right, and then nobody's there to meet me. But I know for a fact that you do not have to talk to Miller. He's going to ask you to walk over there and talk to him. You don't have to actually do that part, but I think you do have to wait until he finishes talking to that lady, though. So just make sure that you guys do that. I don't want you to have to run over here and then run back, because it's quite a run. Then hop over those train cars, use those as your bridge to get across the water, because that water's too deep for you to go across. You know, in some of these areas there's ice patches that you can walk across, but then in other areas it's just too deep of water and you'll end up drowning, or you know, you'll have that little sequence where you jump in and you're gasping for air. You don't want to have to take that time up, so just cross the train cars as your bridge. There's also a boat there you can take as well, but not necessary. And the crane is actually on my right. I'm gonna show it to you here in a second. You can see it from the train where Miller was. You want to look at it prior to making this run. I'll show it to you here in a second. And then also right here, there's going to be a quick time event. As soon as you come past this wall, see the crane? So you can see that crane from the train where Miller was if you want to kind of get your bearings. And just make sure that you're prepared for this. This is a quick time event. It's scripted. Make sure you're hitting squares so he doesn't kill you. So after that quick time event, guys, take a left. We are going to be going to the crane, but before we go there, we want to make a slight detour. We need to pick up a few things. We need to get another collectible and then some parts and some chemicals, okay? Go ahead, open up this door. There'll be an enemy in the back that'll show up as you're opening the door. You can just shoot him with your gun. Shoot him with your gun. And then behind him on the shelf is going to be the parts and the chemicals that we need. There's also going to be a locker. Notice that I put my gas mask on as well. Just hold down the D-pad. That way you guys aren't taking on too much radiation while you're down here. Notice the parts and the chemicals, and then the collectible. That's the faded note. That's collectible 16 of 91. Now to the left is a locker. Go ahead and loot that as well. Okay. Now in my notes, I had us getting 20 parts and 80 chemicals. If you want to know how many parts and chemicals you have, hold down L1 and then hit X. That's going to pull your backpack out. In the top left is two numbers. I think mine says 52 and 74. That's your parts and your chemicals. I have 52 parts and then 74 chemicals. Notice that I'm picking up some more chemicals here. Hold down L1, X. You see in the top left, I have 52 parts, 85 chemicals, okay? Now I had us getting so many parts and chemicals because there's gonna be a trophy we have to get later on that we have to craft a Molotov, okay? And in my practice attempts, I always thought that it took 2 Molotovs to kill the enemy for us to get the trophy, but it only takes 1. So technically you only need 10 parts and 40 chemicals, okay? So just know that as you go forward. Now all we're gonna do at this point is climb the ladder. Gonna be another ladder to our right. And then there's gonna be an NPC, that's the guy that we're coming up here to meet. He's going to basically kill all these enemies for you. You don't really have to do anything. So I'm gonna let you guys watch this. Once he's done killing all the enemies for you, you can of course meet him up on top of the crane. In order to avoid the enemies, because sometimes he's a little bit slow at killing them, all you gotta do is just run around in a circle up here, guys. And that should be about it. I think there's one more enemy. Yeah, there's going to be this enemy that's going to be trying to climb up. That enemy always dies by the crane when it drops. That'll let you guys know that it's time to proceed. Now, Crest, that's the NPC that we need to talk to. There's going to be a dialogue sequence up here with Crest where you can get like some binoculars and he'll show you how to, you know, kind of scan the landscape and identify things and mark things on your map and stuff like that. You guys can do that, of course, if you want to, but I have you covered with the guide. So you guys are going to see exactly where I'm going. And there's a lot of places on the map that we don't even need to go to in order to get our trophy. So you guys want to do that, you can. But for those of you who just want to save some time, you can just come down this ladder, take a right, go into his little cabin here. And then we're just going to wait for him to come up here and talk to us. He'll come and sit out on this desk. I skipped a little bit of it there. And then he's going to tell us that he has a bed that we can sleep in order to change the time of the day. And then he's going to tell us that there's a workbench to his left. Pick up the binoculars if you want to. Again, you can pick him up while you're on top of the crane as well. But he'll also offer them to you when you're down here. There's another locker if you guys need more crafting materials. But again, you should only need 10 parts and 40 chemicals. So the supplies we picked up in the previous area where we got the collectibles should have been enough. But it's not going to hurt to pick up extra either way. Notice that I have 69 parts and 102 chemicals in the top left hand side of the screen. See the Molotovs there? It takes 10 parts and 40 chemicals to craft one. Now I craft 2 in my game. Not necessary, guys. Just craft 1. Now if you want to craft 2, you can, in case you miss with the against the enemy that we're going to go to. You have to toss a Molotov at this enemy to get your kill. There's a collectible, by the way. That's going to be Postcard 4, collectible 17 of 91. You know, in case you miss, you'll have an extra Molotov to throw. We will be setting up a quick save before you take on that enemy, so really you only need 1. But it never hurts to have more than 1. There's going to be some enemies coming up later on in the game where, you know, having a Molotov handy to kill them is going to be good either way. So I'll let you guys determine that. But technically, you only need 1 Molotov, 10 parts, 40 chemicals. All right, so once you get to the bottom, we're going to take a left. There's going to be a hole here we're going to fall through. Then we're going to run forward and to the right and just lightly walk off the edge right here. You won't take any damage. Okay. Go forward, look for a doorway on the right. Take another right. We're gonna go straight. Now this is where we came in initially. This is where we had the quick time event with the enemy. We're just backtracking at this point. Kind of going back toward the train. See the train's on the right. I think I pointed out here. But we're going in this direction, okay? Because we need to go find Anna. She's stuck down in a underground, okay? She fell down a hole. So we need to go find her before we go back to the train. Go forward. There's gonna be, see, I just got attacked by an enemy, but no problem. Just keep running. There's no need for you guys to fight any of these enemies unless it's for a weapon kill. There's the flag. Underneath the flag is the hole you guys can fall through. Okay, that's a good identifying marker for you guys. Gonna be a little cutscene here. Just forward through all that, and then go ahead and set up a quick save right here. Very important. Make sure you set up the quick save. Again, the game is gonna want to do it for you. I like to do manual quick saves just to be sure. I've lost so much time in this game. Okay, now we'll move forward. Take a right. Okay, go through all these cobwebs. We're gonna pick up another trophy here called Last Breath. Okay, here's what you want to do. Make sure that you have your gas mask on. Notice how I pull mine off, put it back on again. Make sure that it's on, okay? And then hit L1, okay? Hit X, go back into your backpack. And then you want to start dismantling all your filters. See how I have a time of 11:11, just holding down the square prompt, and now it's going to go all the way down to 0. Now yours might say 18 seconds, 20 seconds, right? Because it's all counting down differently for all of us. Eventually though, okay, eventually your character is going to start coughing and breathing heavy. When he starts coughing and breathing heavy, craft another filter. That's all you have to do. Hit X to craft a new filter. You guys will pop the trophy Last Breath. Again, the time is going to be different for everybody on those filters, okay? When you're done dismantling all your filters, you might still have a minute on the clock. So that means you got to wait a full minute for that timer to hit 0 for you to be out of filters completely. And then your character's going to start coughing and wheezing and stuff like that. And then boom, just craft another one and you're good. Come over here and pick up your next collectible. This will be the waterlogged note. This is collectible 18 of 91 right there. All right, and now all we need to do is exit this place. So we're going to come over here, take a left, go straight, take a left, go right, take another right, and then we're going to shimmy through this crack in the wall. Going to be an enemy up here. You can just walk up behind him and stab him. Hit triangle, or you can knock him out, either one. Boom, get that kill. And then we're going to go through the gate, take a left. There's going to be a switch or a panel over here that you can interact with. Hold down square. Okay, so after you've restored power, you can just head straight. Take a left. There's going to be an enemy that drops down right here, but if you go fast enough, he won't bother you. Take another left, slight right, forward, and then over here is going to be the wheel that you guys need to turn. That's going to open up the big bay door, okay? Then all your team's going to come in. You guys will be able to rescue Anna, okay? Like that. There'll be a door right here that you'll need to open. See that? And then here's your crew. Now she's officially saved. And now all we need to do is make it back to the train.
It's good Artyom found me.
Oh, what is this place? Artyom, help us here.
All right, so now that we made it back to the train, we're just going to go inside and talk to Miller and Crest. See the chair right there? Eventually, they're going to ask you to sit down in the chair. I think I showed that before I make the transition. You just hold down the square button to sit down, and that's going to forward through the next part of the dialogue sequence. You're going to have some more crew members come in. There's going to be, like I said, a long dialogue sequence there. I'm going to skip over all that for you guys. She's going to eventually leave. And then Cress is going to take a knee and give you a device that's going to allow you guys to operate the rail car. So make sure you guys pick that up. Just hold down the square button to pick that up. Now you can sit here for a long time and talk to Miller and Crest if you want to, but as soon as the game allows you to stand up from the chair, you can leave the area. So whether you leave or talk to them, I'll leave that up to you guys. But I just went ahead and left. Do a 180. We're going to head all the way down to the tower off in the distance. Now we're going to follow the railroad tracks to get there. And then we're just going to go to the right once we get close. And I want you guys to set up a safety save, a quick save, before you go to the tower as well.
Artyom, Nastya has something she wants to ask you. Go on, Nastya.
Uncle Artyom, where will you find my teddy?
There, that wasn't so hard. See, there are demons nesting somewhere on those storage tanks near the terminal. So could you check if the toy is on one of them? I know this sounds silly, but it was a present from her father, and she doesn't want to leave without it. Look, I'll be in your debt if you do. Oh,
All right, so we need to pick up some modifications while we're down here, guys. Again, that's the reason why I wanted you guys to set up a quick save, just in case when you kill these enemies, if the gun flies off in some crazy direction and you can't find it, you'll be able to quick load back in and kill these guys over again and get the gun that we need. Again, notice that I'm just punching everybody out. Very important that you guys do the exact same thing. Do not kill these enemies, just punch them out. Okay, it's a lot easier that way. You won't have to waste any ammo. And then we won't have to worry about crafting you more ammo. Now this guy, for whatever reason, it wasn't giving me a prompt. I used to think that because he was hitting me, maybe that's the reason why I couldn't hit him. But that's actually not the case. I think it's just a bug in the game where sometimes you just don't get a prompt when you're near the enemies. Because I have killed enemies before while they're hitting me. So I think it's just a bug. Notice this guy that I just killed, top of the tower. He's got the gun that we need. Notice where his body is though. And then notice where the gun is. See what I mean? In most cases, you would think the gun would fall down there with him, but it's up here. Notice that I hit the O button there. First of all, the gun was completely orange. That's the gun that you want to find. And then you want to hit O to pick up the modifications, not the gun. I do the same thing here. O. See that? I get two of the modifications on the right hand side of the screen. They're orange right now. You want to make sure that you're hitting O on those two guns. One gun is going to be fully orange, and the other gun, the one that I just picked up, is just going to have the back portion of the gun orange. Okay, make sure that you get both of those. Then we're going to come up here and grab this guitar. That's going to be for another trophy a little bit later on. And now we can exit. Okay, I'm going to go back the same way that we came. And again, if you can't find those two guns, quick load, come back down here and try it again.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, we want to free that slave. That's going to come in handy a little bit later on in the run. We're going to head back to the same railroad tracks that we were at before. And this time we're going to make a right. And you see that train car right there? We're going to go in there and find an NPC. His name is Duke. And before we get there, you're probably going to end up encountering a demon here. And there is a trophy for killing a demon with fire. You guys know we crafted a Molotov earlier. But I know where one is that's a little bit easier to kill than this one. So we're just going to skip through this section and not worry about that demon. And a lot of times if you go in here and talk to Duke and you come out, the demon will despawn, which is really great because they're kind of annoying. And we have to make a pretty big run here coming up. And we don't want that demon following us. So we'll come in here and talk to Duke and then we'll be on our way.
Well, hello, my blood brother.
And notice there too, guys, I did not completely exhaust Duke's dialogue. You can if you want to. Again, It's your choice, but you don't have to, right? Just go in there and come out. And notice there that I put my gas mask on and then I took it off again. That was just to let you guys know that the next area that we're going to, you do not need to be wearing your gas mask. Not something that you guys have to have on. We're just going to run through here across the tracks, or what's left of the tracks. They're kind of underwater there. Then we're going to make a right. Now I'm going to point where we're going next. See right up there? There's a gun up there with some modifications on it. Once we get that gun's modifications, we're going to be able to get a trophy. If you guys have done everything up to this point correctly, okay, you'll be able to pop a trophy. When you get up here, hit up a quick save. Again, we always want to have quick saves before we go into these combat situations. And notice what I'm doing here, guys. Just running up to the enemy, hitting square. Do not try to kill anybody. Don't hit triangle on anybody. Just run up to him and knock him out. There'll be another guy in front of us. He's got body armor on. Now, sometimes that enemy will not get a prompt. You will not be able to knock him out. Like you won't get the square prompt. So you may have to either kill him. If you don't have any ammo, you can just knock him out by hitting R3. Might take you a couple of hits on him to kill him, but you'll eventually be able to knock him out. And then now we're looking for a modification. It's just one orange segment of the gun. Now I want you to notice this enemy. He has two guns. See the two guns? One was laying behind him and the other one was laying in front of him. Very important that you guys notice stuff like that, okay? Notice that gun was all white. And then this gun is all white. And the gun that I looked at on the body that had two weapons, one in the front, one in the back, the one of them was all white. Didn't have any modifications for us, right? It's the other one that we need. You got to make sure that you check these bodies real well, okay? Now let's head inside and get the suit upgrade. This is called the reinforcement helmet. There's 13 suit upgrades and that's number 1 of 13, okay? Notice that I'm running back over here. Watch this magic trick. Now I'm looking at the gun that's behind the body. See the one little modification up there? Hit the O button. Boom. Now you got that modification. So you guys are going to have to look really well. If you can't find them, quick load back in. Keep killing these enemies until you're able to spot it, okay? Once you kill all the enemies underneath, there's going to be one enemy up here that's surrendering. Do not interact with this enemy. Don't worry about him. He's not going to do anything to you. Just trust me on that. I don't want to get too much into the karma system, but just don't interact with that enemy at all. And then boom, see those 3 attachments there? Make sure that you hold down the O button there as well. Get the attachments, not the gun, okay? Now you want to go into your backpack, L1X, and you want to switch to your revolver. See that? In the top right, it's got weapons and then revolver. And then you want to scroll down on the left, there's all your modifications. And you want to hit X on a new modification. You want to do that 5 times. You guys will pop the trophy Gunsmith, okay? That's going to wrap up this episode. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed. Thanks to all my patrons who are supporting me over on patreon.com. You guys are keeping the channel alive. Thank you so much. I'll see you right back here in the next one. Be good.